Hi, my name's Perren-Jones and welcome to Treat Your Own Neck Pain. I'm about to show you how you can treat your own neck pain, disc bulges and pinched nerves. But better than that, I'm going to show you how you can avoid and prevent getting these in the first place. You are going to learn my 3-step method in doing this. Now, as you're about to see, this is not about gizmos or gadgets or lotions or potions. It is a research-based, proven method that I have used with thousands of clients over the last 20 years. And it is based on simple mechanics, as you're about to see. Now, the reason this is so successful and has been over the last 20 years is for the simple reason that we are going to address the causes of your neck pain, not just treat the symptoms. And this is the major problem that people have when they get their neck pain treated. They're only getting their symptoms of their neck pain treated. Now, this is next to useless for the simple reason because it's a bit like if you stub your toe. If you were to stub your toe and then go and get some treatments, then it's going to be basically useless because you know not unless you get rid of the cause, which is stubbing your toe, can you ever hope to actually have a pain-free toe. You know once you stop stubbing your toe will then heal and your toe will become pain-free. Now, your neck, ladies and gentlemen, is no different. Once you stop injuring and irritating and hurting your neck every single day and night, your neck too can start to heal and then will certainly become pain-free. Now, if you're getting chiropractic treatments 2 or 3 times a week, but you spend the rest of your time like this, over the computer, for hours and hours and hours, then I suggest you do 2 things. 1, don't lose your chiropractor's number, and 2, make sure that you've got plenty of extra money on hand, because unless you get rid of this posture in front of the computer for hours and hours on end, you are never going to have any chance of having a pain-free neck permanently. We must address the causes of your neck pain. I want you to meet a friend of mine, Bob, to exemplify this exact same point. Here's poor Bob, and poor Bob is poor in both senses of the word. Good morning, can I help you? Yeah, my name's Bob. I was wondering if you could help me actually. You see, I've got a bit of a sore hand and I was wondering if you might be able to take a look at it. Sure, Bob. What'd you do to that hand? Well, that's a funny thing, you know. I don't really know. You see, I just woke up with that and I couldn't turn my hand. And I don't know what happens. You see, I don't do anything, didn't do anything to hurt it. I said, what do you do all day, Bob, that you may have hurt it? Well, that's a thing. I don't do anything all day. You see, I'm retired. All I do all day is sit and watch television, hit my hand with a brick, play on the computer a bit, hit my hand with a brick. I really don't know. It's a bit of a head scratcher as far as I'm concerned. I talked to a mate of mine. He thinks it could be arthritis. I'm not real sure, you know. I'm a bit stumped. I'm thinking it's maybe old age, you know, Doc. I said, it's okay there, Bob. Let's have a look at that. Rubbity-dub, 3 men in a tub. How does that feel now, Bob? Well, actually, come back again tomorrow, Bob, and we'll have another look at it. Oh, all right. I said, good morning, Bob. How's the hand? Well, you know, it's not much better, you know. I did what you said. I rested it, but I went home, did nothing really. I sat and watched a DVD, hit my hand with a brick, and to tell you the truth, it's not much better. I had some dinner, hit my hand with a brick, and it still hurts like a blighter. I said, well, it's okay, Bob, don't worry. Here's what we need to do. We need to treat your hand 3 times a week for the next month, then twice a week for the next month after that, then once a week for the next month after that. Then, Bob, we'll get you on monthly maintenance doses for the rest of your life. You know what we call them at the yacht club? Tune-up visits. Also, I have this whole range of vitamins and minerals, Bob. There's 20 different types. You won't need all 20. But I tell you what, it would help me if you bought all 20. Look, we take cash, check, credit card, Bob. What do you got? Well, of course, you wouldn't do that. We all know that Bob's hand is going to be much better as soon as he stops hitting it with a brick. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there are many Bobs watching right now because they are not removing the cause of their neck pain, just like Bob. And you are just literally throwing money down the drain if you're getting treatments without removing the cause of your neck pain. Which brings us to step 1 in my 3-step method, removing the causes. Step 1, removing the causes. So what is the major cause of neck pain? Well, you may have noticed it looked like this. Or maybe you know it more like this. Or maybe, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a BlackBerry or even just a mobile phone, you might recognize it as this. You see, folks, it's called the forward head posture. The forward head posture, we must remove this. This is step number 1. Remove the forward head posture from your lives. You must get rid of this. This is step 1. It is your priority number 1. And the forward head posture is your enemy number 1. Unless you remove the forward head posture from your lives, which is the major cause of neck pain, there is no way known you will ever have any chance of being pain-free permanently. How do I know this? Because I have not suffered from neck pain for years. I work hours on the computer just like you do, and I have to drive a lot, and I read books, and I do everything, and I have lots of stress, but I do not suffer from neck pain, nor do the clients that I've treated with this same system, if they do exactly that. Remove the forward head posture from your lives. So how do we do that? Well, let's first of all look at what is good posture. Now, good posture is this. Your ear should be basically centered over the top of your shoulder. So if you were to drop a rock from your ear, it should drop onto the top of your shoulder here. Now, a forward head posture is when you lose that position, because when you're like this, all of the vertebrae and everything is stacked on top of each other. The laws of physics and gravity are basically on your side. Your 8 to 10 pound head is virtually weightless when you're lining everything up in good position. However, once you start getting into the forward head posture, that's when gravity is starting to push down on your head like this. And ladies and gentlemen, every inch your ear goes in front of that position, it creates an extra 10 pounds of stress on your neck. In other words, if you're at the computer, which is very common to see, people at the computer like this, with their ear somewhere in the range of 2 to 3 inches in front of that position, they're creating an extra 20 to 30 pounds of extra stress on their necks. Now that's, of course, it's an enormous amount of weight for your neck structures to handle, and they don't. And this is very much why you will have neck pain and may have disc bulges and may have pinched nerves if it gets bad enough. The Mayo Clinic themselves say that prolonged forward head posture leads to long-term muscle strains, disc herniations, and pinched nerves. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are things you absolutely don't want. And that is if you don't already have them and you're watching right now. So we need to get rid of the forward head posture and get back to good posture. So how do we do that? Okay, so let's have a look at a sitting position. What do you need to do when you're sitting? All right, it must start, and I'll grab this chair here. It must start at your lower back, because there is absolutely no way known you can have good neck posture if you do not have good lower back posture. And I suggest you do this. You get a lumbar roll or you get a rolled up towel, and you place this behind your lower back when you're seated at your chair. That then will give you that lower back inward arch down here, which is what you need. This will not only save your neck, it will save your lower back, because if you do not do this and you slouch like this, not only are you going to have neck pain, but you're also going to have lower back pain and perhaps sciatica if you don't already have it. So, good neck posture starts at your lower back. Place it behind you, sit back in your seat, like that, at belt level, and then you're going to be in a much better position. A little thing to remember, if you're in good position, if you drop the rock from your chin, it should drop onto your chest, not onto the floor. If you drop a rock from your chin, it should drop onto your chest, not onto the floor. Now, one of the easiest ways to remember to sit in good posture is to pull on a hair and get yourself pulling up, and everything will line up against gravity. Literally pull yourself up. What I say to my clients is to sit tall. Not so much to sit straight, because when people tend to sit up straight, they get tense, and the last thing we tend to need in life these days is more tension. So sit tall, get that feeling of lifting up against gravity, and everything will line up beautifully. The other thing you might want to do, again if you're sitting at the computer, is make sure your computer comes closer towards you so that you're not having to reach out. If you have to reach out, then there's no way known you're going to get into good posture. You can have a $1,500 ergonomic chair and still sit badly in it like this. So the cost of your chair doesn't matter if you sit poorly in it, which is very easy to do. So get your computer back towards you. Make sure your mouse is not too far away. If you have to reach for your mouse, again it's going to drag you forward into that forward head posture. Bring your mouse back. And another thing, if you have those little keyboard drawers where you put the keyboard down there, unless you're a perfect touch typist where you can look at the screen and don't have to look down, I suggest you take it out of there and put it up at a higher level where that you can type up here. Because if not, you have to look down at the keys like this, and it would again drag you into a forward head posture. Now this is just a habit, this slouching position, that you have to get out of. It will feel strange to have to sit tall when you first start to do it, but I guarantee you that it will feel more natural the more you do it. And then by the time you start to ingrain this into sitting tall into your daily lives, then slouching will begin to feel unnatural. Get your friends, your family, your colleagues, whoever you need to get you, to remind you and to help you, and when you're doing this, to help you, just to remind you to sit tall. If they find you slouching, then make sure that they help you and say, hey look, sit up tall, sit up straight, again to help you into that position. So that's all you need to do. Lumbar roll, sit tall, and those things will help you enormously. The other thing you need to do is to stand tall. So you need to remember to sit tall and stand tall. So again, when you're standing tall, as we talked about, if a rock was to drop off your ear, it should land on the top of your shoulder. And again, the same thing as when you're sitting, all you need to do is pull up with your hair, and then it will just draw you upwards and you will stand tall. Now that doesn't mean you have to stand rigid like a robot. It will probably feel, again, unnatural, but all you're doing is, again, standing tall, and that's all you need to remember. That will, again, get you out of that forward head posture when you're walking in your daily lives. And the more you're out of that, the more your neck can start to heal. Now that we've removed the causes of your neck pain, we can start removing your neck pain. And again, this is absolutely dead easy. I'm going to teach you 2 exercises to do. The first exercise is called the double chin. Now you're going to do this on day 1. Every waking hour, 10 repetitions for 3-second holds. And I'll go through that right now. It's called the double chin because when you do it, it gives you a double chin. Now I suggest what you do is you do this sitting for the first moment so that you get used to doing it in a sitting posture. Again, you'll start by sitting tall. And what you're supposed to do is draw your head horizontally backwards. Imagine that your head is on horizontal sliding rails. So you're drawing it backwards. Make sure you do not lift your chin up like this. It is horizontally backwards, which produces a double chin. You will hold that for 3 seconds and then go back to a neutral position. Don't go back to a forward protracted position. So, draw back, 3-second hold, and back to neutral. 10 repetitions. and you'll do 10 of those every waking hour on day 1. On day 2, you will include another exercise, which I call tennis in the sky. Now, it's called tennis in the sky because you need to rotate. It's an easy way to remember it, but you need to rotate your head when you're in that position about an inch either side, very much like you were watching a baseline tennis match. The way to do this second exercise, which you'll add on day 2 with the double chin, and you do it the same, you would do it every waking hour, and you do this after the double chin. The way to do this is exactly like this. Draw your chin back, just like the double chin. And then what you're going to do is, keeping retracted, bring your head up as high as you can, up to the point of pain or restriction. So retract, coming up to as high as you can, and then rotate your head to the left and right. You're rotating your head just an inch either side, 3 times each side, like this, and then come back down. 10 repetitions of those as well. And then, so day 1, you will do the double chin. 10 repetitions every waking hour, 3-second holds. Day 2, you will add the tennis in the sky. You're going to retract, extend, and turn to the left and right, trying to look further and further back every time you do it. Now, if you find that it's too painful to do that second exercise, just stay with the double chin exercise. That simple exercise is incredibly powerful in its own right. But you are trying to introduce the tennis in the sky, the second exercise, as soon as you can. If it's too painful to do both of these, then just give it a day's rest and then do it the next day to see how it's feeling. If your neck is still too painful to do that after that, then I suggest you seek medical supervision. And that is as easy as that. You will continue to do those 2 exercises until you've removed your pain. Now, every now and again, some people still experience pain. Let's say it's day 4 or 5, you've been doing the exercises, but you still have some pain. This is what you do. If your pain is to one side, what you will do, you will include this exercise, and that is retract your chin and take your ear towards the shoulder on the side of your pain. In other words, if your pain is on the left-hand side, you will retract and take your ear towards the left-hand side. Hold for 3 seconds and come back up. You will do 10 repetitions, just like the double chin. 10 repetitions, 3-second holds. Be careful not to turn your head across like that. You want your nose pointing forward. Many people will turn their head this way because they get a feeling of going further, but that's wrong. Retract, head towards the front, 3-second holds, and then back. 10 repetitions, and that should clear your pain up completely. Once you do that, then after that you will do the double chin and the tennis in the sky. So I want to be clear with that. If after a few days you still have some pain, and it is one-sided, then what you would do is taking your ear to shoulder with retraction first towards the side of the pain. Then you will do the double chin and the tennis in the sky. You will continue to do these until you are out of pain. Once you're out of pain, then we will remove your restrictions, and that brings us to step 3. Step 3, removing your restrictions. So now you've removed the causes. Now you've removed your pain. Now we want you to have a flexible, pain-free neck. Because the last thing you want to be is one of those people that sit in the car, in their driveway at home, and have to look in their rear vision mirror to back out of their driveway because you can't turn your head backwards to see what's behind you. We're going to get your flexibility back as well. So again, 2 very easy exercises are what's needed. And what you do, you're going to either sit or stand tall. We always do this before we do our exercises because you want to encourage good posture. So let's do it from a standing position. You're going to stand tall, and all you do is rotate your head to the left as far as you can go, and then to the right as far as you can go. You will do 6 repetitions each side. This will start bringing back your rotation. If your neck happens to be particularly stiff, what you can do is this. Let's say you can only get to here. It's not painful, it just doesn't want to go any further. You can use your hand on your cheekbone to just help push it around a little bit further. Be gentle, but what you're doing is just helping it, which is called overpressure. Don't press against your jaw because you don't want to start having jaw problems by forcing on your jaw. On your cheekbone, come to the point, your end point, and then gently encourage it more into the direction you want it to go. That's called overpressure. The other exercise is a bit like what we showed you before, is ear to shoulder. So again, you'll stand tall and then taking your ear to shoulder. What you can do is hold that for 15 to 20 seconds. Relax, and as you breathe, relax your body, and on the out breath, just try and let the muscles relax even further. And you will do that both sides. Now, one thing that people tend to do with this one is they'll take it across and they'll bring their hand down like that. I don't like this because what it does is starts to compress these facet joints. So when you do this, get that feeling of lifting up the whole way through it. So you're lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. So you're feeling it getting pulled up by a string as you do this. It avoids compression. A 15 to 20 second hold and back. So let's just go through that. You've removed the causes. You've now removed your pain. Now we're removing the restrictions. So what you're going to do now to maintain your neck is do the double chin and the tennis in the sky 2 to 3 times a day. Pretty much to maintain the posture of your neck, because you're going to have good posture during the day, but what you also want, because you still have to look down quite a lot, even in good posture, and what this does is does the opposite of that looking down, even in good posture. So 2 to 3 times a day, double chin. 2 to 3 times a day with the tennis in the sky exercise, and also rotations